Welcome to the YouTube channel The Right Place, your creative hub for turning simple natural finds into beautiful rustic garden decor. Today, we're diving into DIY projects using nature stones, driftwood, dry branches, and recycled objects to bring a warm, organic charm to your outdoor space. By combining the beauty of natural materials with the joy of making things yourself, you can create spaces that feel personal, welcoming, and timeless. This episode will give you ideas that are affordable, eco-friendly, and satisfying to make. As we go through each project, remember that there's no right or wrong, only your unique vision. Whether you live in the countryside or the heart of the city, rustic garden decor can turn even the smallest yard or balcony into a serene retreat. So, let's start gathering those stones, driftwood pieces, and recycled treasures. One, nature stones, building beauty from the ground. Nature stones are more than just rocks in your yard, they're the foundation of timeless rustic garden decor. You can use them to create charming pathways, raised garden beds, or decorative borders that feel organic and grounded. The key is to select stones with interesting shapes and natural textures that complement your garden's layout. One inspiring project is building a small stone seating area. By stacking stones in a sturdy, intentional pattern, you can form rustic benches or low walls that double as plant displays. This adds structure while blending perfectly with the surrounding greenery, giving your garden a balanced, earthy atmosphere. 'If you prefer something more artistic, try arranging flat stones into a mosaic-style stepping path. Play with colors and shapes, letting the irregularity become part of the charm. With each step, visitors will feel a connection to nature, guided by the artistry beneath their feet. 2. Driftwood, sculpting nature's forgotten pieces. Driftwood carries the mystery of the sea and the weathered touch of time. It's perfect for rustic garden decor because every piece tells its own story. You can use large driftwood logs as natural sculptures or small pieces as part of functional garden accents. A wonderful idea is to transform driftwood into plant hangers or garden signs. The twisted shapes and worn textures make each piece feel unique. Pairing driftwood with hanging plants or engraved lettering brings a coastal, earthy elegance to your garden. 'For a centerpiece project, consider building a driftwood archway at the entrance to your garden. Intertwining the wood with climbing vines will create a magical, storybook-like feel. This makes an unforgettable first impression for guests while welcoming them into your natural haven. 3. Dry branch art. From simple twigs to rustic charm. Dry branches may seem ordinary, but they can become striking rustic decorations with a bit of creativity. Their organic lines and varied thicknesses make them versatile for both practical and decorative projects. Collect branches of different lengths to add dimension and texture to your designs. 1 creative option is to weave branches into a rustic trellis for climbing plants. This DIY project not only supports your greenery, but also blends perfectly with the natural environment. The imperfections in each branch make the trellis look handcrafted and full of character. Smaller branches can be turned into charming candle holders or miniature fences around flower beds. By combining them with stones or driftwood, you can create mixed material pieces that enhance the garden's cozy, handcrafted feel. 4. Recycled objects, giving old items new life. Rustic garden decor becomes even more meaningful when it's eco-friendly. Using recycled objects alongside natural materials reduces waste and sparks creativity. Old metal buckets, wooden crates, and glass jars can be transformed into functional and beautiful garden accents. Try repurposing an old wooden ladder into a tiered plant stand. The aged wood pairs beautifully with stone and branch elements, creating a layered, vintage effect. You can place small potted plants on each step, mixing colors and textures for added charm. 'Even broken household items can find a second life outdoors. A cracked teapot becomes a whimsical planter, while a worn-out chair frame can cradle a lush flower arrangement. Mixing these recycled pieces with natural stones and driftwood creates an eclectic, storytelling garden. 5. Combining materials for a complete rustic look. The true magic of rustic garden decor comes when you combine nature stones, driftwood, dry branches, and recycled objects in a single cohesive design. The interplay of textures and tones gives your outdoor space depth and personality. 'For example, imagine a stone pathway leading to a driftwood bench, surrounded by branch trellises and accented with planters made from recycled buckets. This layered approach makes the garden feel lived in, welcoming, and full of stories. Experiment with placement and balance stones for grounding, wood for warmth, branches for texture, and recycled objects for surprise. By blending these elements thoughtfully, you create a space that feels authentic and deeply connected to nature. 6. Stone water features. Serenity in motion. A rustic garden can benefit greatly from the calming presence of water, and nature stones are perfect for creating a natural-looking fountain or small pond. The textures and shapes of the stones help the feature blend seamlessly into the landscape, making it look like it's been there for decades. A gentle trickle of water brings sound and movement, inviting relaxation and mindfulness. 1 simple approach is stacking flat stones in a tiered formation with a hidden pump, allowing water to cascade softly from one level to the next. This kind of water feature pairs beautifully with driftwood accents or potted plants, enhancing the natural charm. Even in small gardens, this can become a striking focal point. 'If space allows, consider lining the edges of a small pond with nature stones and incorporating driftwood as a bridge or decorative arch. The combination creates a serene scene that attracts birds, butterflies, and even frogs, turning your garden into a lively ecosystem. 7. Driftwood planters, bringing life to wood. Driftwood is not only decorative but also functional when used as a planter base. Hollowed or naturally curved pieces can cradle soil and plants, creating an organic container that feels like a work of art. This approach merges nature with gardening in a uniquely rustic way. Small succulents and air plants are particularly suited for driftwood planters because they require minimal soil and water. Their vibrant greens and varied shapes contrast beautifully against the muted, weathered tones of the wood. This makes for low-maintenance, yet eye-catching decor. For a more dramatic effect, combine several driftwood planters of different sizes in a cluster. Surround them with nature stones or dry branches to create a layered display that draws the eye and makes the plants feel like part of the landscape. Eight, branch sculptures, artistic forms from nature. Dry branches can become striking sculptures when arranged thoughtfully. Their twists and curves naturally evoke movement and expression, making them ideal for art installations within a rustic garden. These sculptures can stand alone or serve as frames for climbing plants. One idea is to create a circular branch sculpture, weaving the twigs into a reef-like form and placing it against a stone wall or garden fence. Over time, moss or vines may grow on it, enhancing the sense of age and authenticity. For larger gardens, tall branch towers can add vertical interest. These structures break up the horizon and draw attention upward, especially when paired with hanging lanterns or string lights for a warm evening glow. 9. Recycled garden furniture. Function meets sustainability. Rustic garden decor isn't just about beauty, it's also about creating usable spaces. Repurposing old furniture into outdoor pieces gives new life to items that might otherwise be discarded, while adding a unique, weathered charm. For instance, an old wooden table can be sanded, sealed, and surrounded by stone planters, creating a cozy dining spot in your garden. Pairing it with mismatched chairs made from recycled materials enhances the rustic, lived-in feel. Even broken furniture can be salvaged. A headboard can become a garden gate, while a dresser can be transformed into a tiered planter. Integrating these pieces with driftwood and stones makes the whole setting feel cohesive and intentional. Lighting with Rustic Flair. The right lighting can transform a rustic garden from charming during the day to magical at night. By using recycled jars, driftwood mounts, and natural stone bases, you can create unique lighting solutions that feel handcrafted and warm. A beautiful option is to make jar lanterns filled with candles or LED lights, hanging them from branch hooks or driftwood stands. The flickering glow casts soft shadows, highlighting the garden's textures and shapes. For a more dramatic effect, consider embedding small solar lights into stone pathways or under driftwood arches. This subtle illumination not only guides visitors, but also adds a layer of depth and intrigue to the garden's nighttime appearance. Seasonal rustic touches. A rustic garden thrives on change, and incorporating seasonal decor keeps it feeling fresh and alive. By swapping out certain elements or adding temporary accents, you can celebrate each season while keeping your core rustic style intact. In autumn, scatter pumpkins among driftwood sculptures or arrange dry branches into harvest-themed displays. Winter can feature recycled metal lanterns filled with pine cones and candles, while spring invites bursts of flowers in driftwood planters. Summer offers the chance to add lightweight, breezy accents such as fabric banners or shell garlands hung from branches. By using stones, wood, and recycled objects as the foundation, these seasonal touches blend seamlessly with the rustic aesthetic. Creating focal points for impact. Every garden benefits from a focal point, a place where the eye naturally rests. In a rustic garden, this can be a large driftwood sculpture, a stacked stone column, or a beautifully arranged recycled object display. Position your focal point where it can be seen from multiple angles, such as at the end of a path or in the center of a seating area. Surround it with complementary materials like dry branches or flower beds to frame it naturally. Over time, you can change the focal point with the seasons or as you create new pieces. This flexibility keeps the garden evolving and ensures that every visit offers something new for the eyes to discover. Conclusion: your rustic garden journey. Rustic garden decor is more than a style, it's a way of connecting with nature and finding beauty in simplicity. Using nature stones, driftwood, dry branches, and recycled objects allows you to create a space that reflects your personality and care for the environment. Each project you take on adds layers of character to your garden, whether it's a simple branch trellis or an elaborate driftwood archway. The joy comes not only from the final look, but also from the process of crafting and discovering along the way. Thank you for joining us here on The Right Place. If you enjoyed this journey into rustic garden decor, remember to like, subscribe, and share with fellow nature lovers. Your next DIY masterpiece could be just one stone, branch, or recycled treasure away.